Hi, ones. I hope you have had a lovely month so far. We are doing a live recording today. It's going to be pretty much the same reading as usual. The only difference is it is live, so that means I'm not going to go in and edit out any extra sounds. So if you do hear the sound of my computer fan, I do apologize. I can't really edit that out in a live video. I usually go in and try to get rid of any extra sounds that can be distracting. I do apologize if it is distracting. I'm not able to hear what you can hear now. But I did want to do these live because I realized that when I try to record them and then I have to go back in and edit them and prepare them to upload, it always takes me way longer. And because I've been focusing on something else pretty much this entire month, and I just finished the next to last step of that other thing, I'm already a week behind. I figured instead of making you guys wait another week because we're already in the middle of the month, this is literally the 15th, I just give you a live reading. So hopefully whenever you find this, that will be the time you're meant to find this. If you are here for the live reading, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new to the channel, I am Morgana Braid, High Priestess of Maiden Circle Coven and Academy, and you can find out more about what Maiden Circle is and what we do in the description below. I'm pretty sure I put that there. And yeah, I am Morgana Braid, also known as Victoria Wilder, so you can also find me under that name online. That is my real name. This is my coven name. And I am doing life path number readings. So your life path number is one of the many numbers that can kind of govern your destiny or govern the way you interact with the world. I find that when I learned more about my life path number, I was a lot more able to navigate certain experiences and certain emotional experiences as well. Just kind of understanding a little bit more about how my mind works helps me to respond and deal better. So I think life path numbers are very important and they're very useful. And I'm explaining all of this because it has been about a month since our last recording. And it will probably be along this pattern. We'll all be doing mid-month readings for a bit and then occasionally doing pick-a-cards. I will be doing a pick-a-card for the coming year. So check that out when that is up. That is one I'm going to probably pre-record for you guys in the next couple of days. And over the next couple of days, I will be doing these because I can't do all of them in one day. That's just it takes a lot of energy to do one reading. And I can generally get out about 3 a day before I essentially just totally conk out. That is a lot. I didn't plan to say all of that. So hopefully I remember to say that in all the other readings. And if I don't, you guys got something a little bit extra, I guess. But let's go ahead and get started. So if you are new to the channel, this is your life path of reading. If you're not new, then you will recognize this setup. We started a couple of months ago having the cards ready for you instead of me shuffling on camera because as you can probably tell by now, I like to talk and I talk more when I shuffle, and that just makes our readings last like an entire half an hour. And I am not trying to take all your time like that because I don't know where you are, but I live in New York and everybody's busy. Nobody's got time. All right, so just take a moment, take a deep breath, get yourself in that zone where you are ready to be open, where you're ready to receive these messages, where you're connecting with your higher self, okay? Because the way that I do these readings is I feel like time is, I say this all the time, but time is irrelevant all the time. But I think time it's flexible, and so I feel like as I was shuffling these, my higher self, my guides were connecting with yours if you were meant to receive this reading. If you weren't meant to receive it, then that's natural, that happens. I definitely recommend you check out all the other numbers in your chart, both your name chart and your birth chart, and then find out if there's another number that has more influence for you, and then go check out that reading when it's up. But yeah, if you're meant to see this, then I feel like our higher selves connected before I ever started recording. As I was shuffling, they were already making that connection. So you get in that zone where you're ready to connect. I will stop rambling now, and we will start with your reading. First, I will roll this die and see what your overall guiding message is. So this is your reading for the mid-month for December 15th through to January 15th, okay? So this is going to cover some stuff about the new year, even though I will have a full new year reading coming up, and I'll also have a pick a card. Oh, you got a 5. So your guiding message using this 5. If you're feeling stifled in any aspect of your life, you have the creativity to shake things up. Trust your intuition here, 5 and 1. I was looking at the 5, sorry. But trust your intuition, okay? If you're feeling stifled, then I think you know what needs to be done to change things. You might be feeling hesitant. You might not want to shake things up because that can be a very scary territory to step into, especially if it's something very new. But if you have been feeling stuck or stagnant or unable to just, make something happen, then I feel like this is telling you to really just trust yourself and trust your ability to make the right changes so that you can just kind of pull yourself out of the muck, if that makes sense. Okay. So then I asked what your direct guiding message would be. So this is for people who are truly deeply connecting to this. And if you really connect to this, then there's a chance you're going to connect to the rest of the reading as well. So what is the direct message for Life Path 1? Inspiration. Okay, so again, we have that energy of creativity. I think this month, this coming transition into the new year is going to be all about inspiration. It's going to be all about being able to tap into your creative energy and say, okay, well, I mean, that makes sense, because we're moving into a new year. So a lot of people are going to be feeling inspired to make changes in their lives. This is the time to do it. I think this is just your confirmation. If you've already been feeling inspiration, you've already been feeling like, I want to make this change, or I want to try this new thing, or I think in 2020, I'm going to do this. This is just further confirmation that that energy of inspiration, that energy of wisdom, that go forwardness that you're feeling, that is divinely guided, because we're getting this number 3 here, and that tells me that it's like your divine guides, your angels, your higher self, God, goddess, deity, what have you, whatever it is that you believe is guiding you, they are definitely touching you in this aspect. So we're going to see what else the rest of the cards have to say to get a little bit more information. I also asked what your soul message is. So this is the message that your spirit is trying to get to the surface for you. This is what's going on underneath all of your thoughts, underneath all of your feelings and all of your experiences. This is what your soul is experiencing through December 15th to January 15th. Okay, so for those with a life path number of 1, look at that. You got a 1. You got an Ace of Wands. All right. So, like I said, some of you are very, very ready to make a change in your life. You may be feeling stuck now, but I don't think that's going to last very long, because I feel like this is a very fast moving energy. I do think there's a lot of anxiety for you, because on this side, we have that same direct go-getter energy, but it's in the light of the sun. It's nice. But on this side, there's lightning hitting a tree. So I feel like that is telling me that even though you're ready to make changes, there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of worry back there. There's something that either you still have to overcome or something you're just kind of afraid of facing. And that's kind of keeping you from acting on this energy. The energy is there to take action, the desire to take action, the need to take action. But there may be some deeper spiritual wounds that are making you hesitant, that are making it hard for you to actually take those steps forward, okay? So let's find out what's going on in your heart and mind. You got an extra card that jumped out here. So what is going on in the heart and mind of those with a life path number 1 for December 15th through January? You have the 5 of Cups, yeah. So I do think there was some sort of spiritual wound that has brought you to this place where now you're kind of emotionally unstable. Well, I don't want to say unstable, because that sounds like I'm saying you're being an unstable person, but it's like your emotions just, sometimes you feel really sad, and sometimes you feel really great, and it's like you want to feel really great. Let's see what this is. 7 of Coins. Yeah. So I feel like there's a lot of confusion. I feel like you want to feel really good. You want to feel like you're making the right choices, like you're pursuing the right things, like the things that you've done in the past are going to pay off for you. But you might be kind of you're just not settling on anything. Like, you have these passions in your heart, you have these things that like you want to do, or people you want to interact with, or experiences you want to have. Like, it's a passion, it's something that you care about, something that's in your heart, but it's like everything else is kind of getting in the way. Like, I'm feeling like it's life, like rent and jobs and all this stuff, and it's like you're telling yourself that it's in the way all the time, and that you're just spreading yourself thin, and you're not really able to do it. And I feel like, and this is going to be very specific for some of you, but I feel like whatever this mindset is, this is because of this wound that happened, that's on a deeper level. So it's like you're insecure, like you're just, even though you want to make change, even though you do, as we know, have the power to create change, and as a one, you are uniquely gifted with the ability to um, succeed, basically. Like, life path ones are essentially, I always think of ones as Aries energy, because that is a very direct go-getter creator energy, and it's like there's nothing that's going to stop me. That's what the one energy is. Unfortunately, you right now, I think, in your heart and mind, are letting things stop you. It's either fear, because with the fives, especially the Five of Cups, there's this aspect for me of fear. There's this aspect of like you're afraid of um, hurting again. Like, something has hurt you in the past, you're afraid of hurting again. So you're not willing to look at the good things. You're not willing, or at least you're not willing to get your hopes up about the good things, because you're so worried about all the bad things that have happened before, and you're worried they're going to happen again. And it's just like, what if I make the wrong choice? What if I go in the wrong direction? What if I do the wrong thing? And that's kind of where you are right now, I think. So let's see what's going on in your physical life. This could be your jobs, your finances, your relationships, but we got temperance. So I think you're kind of in this place of how do I say? Oh, I just actually used this word earlier today, so that's fun. But transmutation. You're kind of in this place of, I feel, transmutation, where you are seeing the aspects of your life as it is now. You're taking stock, and that you are going to be able to, and I mean, that's if you use this inspiration that's coming to you, you're going to be able to really mold your world um, to fit an experience that is right for you, that may not necessarily be what you were hoping it would be or what you were expecting it to be. And I feel strongly it's probably not going to be what you're expecting it to be, because I also feel like a lot of you are not expecting it to be good. Unfortunately, that's just what I'm getting. But I do think it can be good. Oh, that is something happening upstairs. I don't know what that was. But I do think this creation, this change that you're making, it's going to take some time, but I do think it's going to turn out positively for you if you can let go of this mindset of like, if I get my hopes up, I'm going to be crushed again. If I try that, it's just going to not work. Like, I feel like a lot of you are kind of in this mindset where it's just like, I'm not even going to bother trying because it's not going to work. But that is not what's reflected for you. That's not the energy that's available to you. The energy that's available to you is an energy of creation. It's an energy of, like I said, transmutation, of making something out of something else, making something beautiful out of something else that you've already got. Okay, so let's see what your message of support is. This is a support message from whoever it is you call on when you're happy, when you're sad, when you need support for, like, when you're trying to pass a test. Who do you pray to? This is their message of support to you. And you also got a couple of extra cards that came out here too. So the message of support for you this month, this next 30 days. When I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light, and my fearless freedom lights up the world. So we have a lot of light imagery there. So if you've been feeling in a place of darkness, I think this is the time to move out of it. The more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. So we have fearless here, and we have fearless here, and we have light in those two. So what I'm feeling, and I did mention, I think, that you this wound was causing a place of fear. Like I think, I hope I did, but I feel like whatever this is, it's fear, it's apprehension, and this is saying to move away from that fear, to really remind yourself that you are a creature of the divine. You are blessed. You wouldn't be here watching this channel if you weren't. You wouldn't be looking for answers and trying to improve your life and trying to heal and understand things on a spiritual level if you were not divinely guided, if you were not divinely touched and blessed, okay? And they are telling you, you are loved, you are a child of the universe, you are a child of the divine, okay? And anything you want to create, you can from your soul. Your soul has that power, and there's something that you are allowing to hold you back. But this is the time to move away from that. This is the time to let your creative juices, creative energy guide you. And it's not just creative energy, it's the energy that's in your heart, the energy of love. Because when I see the cups, they also tend to speak to creativity. They also tend to speak to art and to those things that connect to us on a spiritual, emotional level. Art, music, the written word, all of those things are valuable because they connect with us on a deep spiritual level in a way that other practices just simply cannot. And this is telling you to connect with yourself in that way. Okay, so let's see what your closing remarks are. Generally, when I read this, this line talks about your past, this line talks about where you are now and where you're going. But, sometimes that is not the case. Sometimes it's this whole thing. So let's see what your closing remarks are for December 15th through January 15th, for those with the life path number 1. Eight of Swords, yes. So I feel like this is where you're transitioning out of. With that Eight of Swords, there's been a lot of like selfish, kind of fearful, being stuck kind of energy, stuck where you were. Maybe you were hoping for some stability or looking for some stability, and maybe you trusted the wrong person. So we have, sorry, I realize you probably can't see this. So we have the Eight of Swords here. And this is like the energy of a person who has like they're in a place that they can get out of. Okay, so you're in this situation that is not positive, it's frightening, but if you really look at the Eight of Swords, she's not really bound. Those chains are just kind of hanging loosely on her wrists. That eye thingy, blindfold, sorry guys, that blindfold, she can just take it off. The space between those swords, she's the size of a person who can just walk between them. She's literally able to be free of this situation, but for some reason, she's not. And I feel like that has to do with either some fear or some selfishness. Like you don't want to let go of what you have, or if this is a past thing, you didn't want to let go of something, you were holding on too tightly to something, even though it was keeping you in that dark place. And it could be like you were holding on to that darkness. Okay, the Four of Pentacles generally represents someone who might be miserly, but sometimes it's telling you to keep your fortune close to your chest because someone else might be trying to take it from you. But in this context, that's not what I'm getting. In this context, I'm feeling like you might be holding on too tightly to something that was never really serving you. Or maybe it served you for a little while. Maybe it helped you, cope with something. But now you're at this point where you've been trying to find stability, trying to find some peace, trying to find, some direction, some guidance, something that will just fulfill you. And you sought it out. You sought out a teacher, a spiritual teacher, you sought out guidance. The Hierophant can go both ways. So you could have found someone that taught you well, that helped you move forward. And now you're in this place where you are listening to your inspiration, where you are about ready. Like, then I don't feel like, if this is in your past, I don't feel like it was very far in your past. Like, this could have been like just where you were like 3 days ago. Like, this isn't that far in your past. You might just now be starting to realize that, okay, you know what? I'm in my own way. I'm standing in my own way, and I'm stuck, and I need to get out of my own way. Okay. But whatever it is, you did kind of seek out help. And I, for some reason, for some of you, I just feel like you may have been misled. You may have found a guide that seemed really good, seemed like they could be trusted, seemed like they were reverent, like they were someone who you could believe in, and then they kind of let you down, unfortunately. For others of you, though, I think you're just kind of working with someone or a mentor or a teacher or a guide, and that is bringing you something positive. Let's see what that's bringing you before I actually. Queen of Swords is bringing you wisdom. Seven of Cups, it's bringing you options for fulfillment. Six of Cups, and it's bringing you peace. It's bringing you comfort. It's bringing you like that feeling of like being able to create. It's connecting you with your inner child, connecting you with something maybe from your past, because the Six of Cups speaks to nostalgia, speaks to childhood, speaks to your past. But for me, what I'm feeling with this card right now is just comfort. Like if you found a good teacher or a good mentor that has brought you back into a place of stability, that has helped you to break through this Eight of Swords energy, they're helping you to connect with yourself on a both spiritual and emotional, and logical level. Because with the Queen of Swords, I'm feeling there's a lot of logical energy there for you. There's like enlightenment for some of you, and that is really, really exciting. It's like your third eye is opening up. You're really starting to see the light. You're really starting to connect with yourself on a spiritual level, and you're really starting to understand your world and understand your purpose in it and your path. And I think that is helping you find that inspiration. And because like you just have so many options, right? So this could just be because you're transitioning into a new year. But I do feel like the options are plenty. There may be some confusion because the Seven of Cups does speak to too many options sometimes. Maybe there's like just a little too much going on, and it can feel overwhelming sometimes. But because it's between these two cards, I don't think you're going to have anything to worry about. I think even with all of these options, you are going to realize what really speaks to you, because you're going to be connecting with something inside of you that is a lot more positive. There's going to be some spiritual healing, okay? And I think there's going to be some healing of childhood wounds and healing of whatever it is in your soul that's been causing this hesitation, that's been causing this kind of negative, fearful mindset. I feel like you're going to be moving into a place where you are healing those wounds. And that is because I think you found a teacher or a guide or a mentor. Like you found something or someone. It doesn't even have to be like a specific person. It could be like a school. It could be like an online course that you decided to take. Just obviously be careful and vet these things out, vet everyone out, because again, the Hierophant does say, be very careful, because there are also false prophets. Essentially, they're false guides, people whose motives are not to help you but are to use you or whatever. Like people whose motives, like they see the power that's inside of you. As a life path one, there's inherent power inside of you no matter what, and people will see that sometimes and want to use that to their advantage, and they may not have your best interest in mind. So really just be careful about who you reach out to, who you speak to, who you get readings from, who you listen to, who's guiding you. Really, really keep your eyes open, and don't let your desire for stability, for fertility, for like that kind of comfort, don't let that blind you. That said, that was just like a little warning. I am not feeling that energy for most of you. I'm feeling that this is just what you've been moving into. You did find some sort of guide that was actually very, very helpful for you, that helped you to see things from a different perspective, see things a little bit more clearly, a little bit more sharply, so that you understand yourself on a better level, and then you're going to be better able to navigate all these options that are coming to you. And there's going to be a lot of options in the coming year. Stay grounded, stay connected with yourself, stay connected with your soul, stay humble, and again, keep your eyes open for anyone who may be trying to misuse your strength, your power, or twist it, because there is power there for you, despite whatever it is that might be causing some sort of hesitation or pain for you. Despite your worry and your fears, there is power inherent within you, the power to transform, the power to create, the power to make something out of almost nothing. Okay, you have that power. The only thing that was keeping you from realizing it was you, was your fear, was your wounds. And you didn't cause those wounds in yourself, obviously, but now it is time to heal them. Do you understand? Like now, even though like for example, if you had like crappy parents, you can't blame them for who you are now, because now you have the responsibility, now that you know what the wound is. If you know what the wound is, if you don't know, obviously take some time to figure that out first. But when you know what the wound is, then it is your responsibility to work towards healing it. You cannot rely on it to allow you to behave the way that you were behaving before, because now you know, now you have that knowledge, and it's your responsibility and your right to heal it, with love, to let your light shine, to let your light enter this space, so that this darkness that you've been dealing with, that you've been kind of stuck in, fades away. Okay, so that is all I have for you, ones. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I want you to know that I really, really, really appreciate it. You have no idea how much it means to me that you guys keep coming back, and that you say so many nice things, and that you message me on Facebook, and and your comments. Trust me, I see them, and I have a really bad habit of seeing things and then being like, I'm gonna check that later, or I'm gonna respond later, and then I like fall asleep and don't remember to do it. I'm a very sleepy girl, but I want you to know I appreciate you. I'm so grateful just for the support that this channel gets, that Maiden Circle gets, and that has been coming in this year. And maybe I'm feeling, sentimental because it's almost a new year, but just thank you. Thank you so much. So I will see you guys in your pick a card reading and your 2020 reading, which are upcoming in a couple days or in the next week or so. And until then, remember always that I love you. I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.